I overslept. I forgot to set an alarm. Okay, I got a fishing pole, got some lures, don't need the shotgun shells. That'll do. Got a leader, that'll help. Maybe if there's pike in here. Got a bunch of buzz baits. It's kind of late in the season for buzz baits. All these things are empty. All right, don't need any of that. Welcome back to another episode of UnReel Minnesota. I'm your host, Mike Wallace, and today we're fishing in lakes that might not contain any fish. We just got done duck hunting, and we're gonna load up with some fishing gear, head back out, and see if this duck slough has any fish. So this one, obviously pretty easy to access. It's got a launch, no lake survey. We're gonna see. It's pretty shallow, lots of weeds. Got my brother here. He's gonna help me try and catch some fish after he gets some caffeine. Stay tuned. We'll see ya on the water. Woo! Weirdo. Oh yeah. I don't have the paddle. Woo! Oh my goodness. You good?
Yeah.
Did you break your line?
Yeah, it snapped.
I'm gonna put it up by mine. Here's my strategy. I say we go past the next layer of reeds out into the main lake, and then we start on the west side and we just let the wind blow us across. Without motoring, we can just cast wherever we drift because everywhere is pretty shallow. Let it blow us across, and then when we get across, motor back up and kind of like zigzag down the lake.
Wanna go right here?
I'd say so, because it's kind of blowing that way. There's no way it has fish. Hope no one's like out duck hunting laughing at us. Imagine if we were like sitting duck hunting and we saw people fishing on this lake.
I'd be like, yeah, there's fish in here.
On the bright side, if there was a fish in here, I feel like it'd be super easy to catch. A pike could be so aggressive, and it probably has never seen lures ever. I strung your line up on your pole and I missed the end eyelet. I'm sorry. That's embarrassing. See, I did that on purpose. That way you would never ask me to do it again. That's like if someone ever asks you to cook, you purposely cook a bad tasting meal so then no one ever asks you to cook anymore. And then you have more time to fish. We're taking a quick intermission to answer one of the questions you guys have had for me, which is, are we going to continue this series into the winter? And I would love to. I'm going to try my best. I have a huge ask for you guys. One thing that would help me out is a snowmobile. In an effort to raise a little money to buy a used cheap snowmobile off Facebook Marketplace, I've designed a sweatshirt based off of this series. And I'm wearing it right now. It's called Lake Pitwaffiag. You might be wondering, where the heck is that? And well, it doesn't exist. The name comes from put in the work and find your own hidden gems. For every sweatshirt or t-shirt that I sell, I'm gonna put all of that money towards buying a used snowmobile. They'd make a great present. Honestly, I like the sweatshirt. It's made out of high quality material. I didn't cheap out there. They're just fun to wear. People can ask you, where the heck is Lake Pitwaffiag? And you can say, put in the work and find your own hidden gems. So let's get back to fishing. Oh, and you probably want to know where to find them. So we've got a link to an Etsy shop set up, and I'll put that in this video description. Or if you're watching on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, it's going to be set up right at the top of our link tree. Thanks for your support. Let's get back to fishing. If this thing was crawling with pike, we would have hooked into one by now. We're halfway down already. It's been 2 feet deep everywhere. Look at this. This is bottom right here. I think we motor up to the other side again. Go straight across, because we started over there and we like came diagonal. So if we go there, then we'll like zigzag. I think next summer, I swear something just hit it. I'm not shitting you. anything?
No.
Damn. Probably like right about in here. This is like laughably stupid. Who decided it was a good idea to fish this? I swear the colder it gets, the shorter my patience is for like fishing these lakes. And the more lakes that I like come across that have fish, usually I find fish really quickly if they have fish. People aren't fishing these lakes, so they're actually like easier to catch. Let's see how deep it is. Still 6 feet. It's a lot of 6 feet. A lot of people on my videos, they were saying that I was reeling too fast. They said in the fall, as soon as the water gets cold, the fish really slow down. They said you gotta slow down your retrieve. Whether there's truth, but I got a lot of comments saying that I was like too aggressive, because usually I'm like ripping it like almost too fast to try and like trigger a reaction bite. Whoa. There's got to be something in here. It's like throwing 2 lures, we're covering it twice as hard. It's amazing how it doesn't really take that long to fish a lake. When they're shallow like this, it's like, it's either got pike or it doesn't. I feel like after this, we're gonna have like 1 or 2 more zigs.
Yeah.
So far, we've done about 5 or 6 zigzags across this lake, kind of motoring upwind and then drifting downwind. And we might have seen a flash or a follow. We each had 1 maybe. Honestly, it's probably just wishful thinking at this point. We did find some spots where it was about 6 or 7 feet. Actually, a lot of spots. A good chunk of the middle of this lake is like 6 or 7 feet, and there's no weeds right in the middle. Plenty deep to hold some fish. The question is, do they exist? We're gonna give it another, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes, maybe 2, 3 more zigs across this lake, and hopefully get on a fish. Oh, jeepers, I almost fell in. I was just gonna say, I didn't really talk about what I'm using, but at this point, I don't really know if I ever need to tell you guys what I'm using, because it's always the same thing. Most of the lakes I go to, this thing gets hammered really fast if there's pike in the lake. Bass will also eat it too. We like to call this Old Trusty. A lot of people are new to the channel, haven't really seen some of the original videos. This is what we're referring to when we say Old Trusty. And it flat out catches fish. We're gonna roll up to the launch, and there's gonna be like people there like getting ready to go out to hunt, and they're gonna be like, what the hell? And we're gonna tell them how many fish we caught.
Hard to cut.
All right, I'm ready whenever. This is a joke. There's like, when I fish these lakes, I almost get like a gut instinct of like, it's gonna have fish or it's gonna not have fish. And this one I was like, I'm about 70% sure it's not gonna have fish. But now, after fishing it for about an hour, I'd say I'm about 90% sure it doesn't have fish. And the more I cast, the higher that number gets. One last cast. Might be the last open water trip of the year, and we got skunked. So that's how it goes sometimes. Were we using the wrong lures? Are there even fish in this lake? You guys tell me. I don't know. It's a big lake, definitely deep enough and big enough to hold some fish. Had some good weeds. Might be worth trying to ice fish, set up some tip ups and throw a live scope down, see if we can see some fish. Still not convinced that it's fishless. Nonetheless, we got skunked. We'll see you next time. You're gonna jackknife. That's good. Good, good, good.